Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike platform rack here on our 2018 Toyota 4Runner. So this is going to be our premier 2-bike platform rack here at etrailer.com, and there's a lot of reasons. Now, Kuat has definitely gone above and beyond of adding style to their carrier, so you know it's going to be looking good here on the back of your 4Runner. However, it doesn't just stop at cosmetics. The NV does an excellent job and boasts a lot of powerful features that definitely start setting it apart from the rest. So, again, we do have those looks. As you can see, we have that copper orange elements throughout it, especially here on our sides. Now today, we are working on the gunmetal gray. This is also available in black. And if you want it in a matte black as well, there is going to be the Kuat NV base. Basically, everything you're going to see here in this video is going to be that Kuat NV base. The only thing you're going to be missing is this little repair stand here on the end. So we'll kind of break that down in the later on the video, but it is a really nice, helpful tool. However, if you're not quite needing it, the Kuat NV base is always a great option. So, as you might be able to see here, we do have the front tire hold on these bikes. So, it also boasts a 60-pound weight capacity per bike. And what's excellent about these front tire holds is that you can throw something even as lightweight as your carbon frame bikes up on here and still do a great job of holding on to them because we have no frame contact. So, we're not going to be warping or deteriorating that carbon frame bike. And that's why the NV is definitely a proud choice for a lot of carbon bikers out there, which is great. To that end, if you have any women's bikes, step-through bikes, or kids' bikes that might have a harder time with your hanging style or your center post mount systems for your tray styles, we don't have to worry about that, right? As long as we have one good front wheel, we'll have a great time of getting our bikes on here. Really do like how this system works. We have a really, really wide and large front cradle. Might be a little easier to see on the other side here. Have that 18C standard groove going down the middle and widening out for some of your bigger bikes, which is great. You got about 4 3/8 inches there between your cradles, which is excellent. Now here on the back, though, we do have a strap that's holding onto that back wheel. Now what's great about it, it is going to be versatile. You can see it can swap this all the way out for our long wheelbases that we all might be encountering. Those 48ers going to be A-OK on here. The one thing about it, though, not really that great for your fat bike tires. Our strap, not that large as you're seeing. Only going to have really about that much as your max there for your wheels. So, unfortunately, not well situated for that. I would look at something like the Rocky Mounts Monorail 2-bike platform rack that comes innately with a fat bike adapter, which is really, really cool. Albeit, I think that's going to be the biggest limitation that a lot of Kuat owners are going to see is that little strap right there. Everything else about it, though, really, really nice, and I love how it works. Our bike is sitting on here quite well. Before we actually do get the bike off, I want to take a look here and see how it's interacting with our 4Runner. So from the back end here, seeing it is kind of getting in the way of a little bit of those tail lights. We're seeing a little bit of interference with that rear window. However, that is just kind of how our 4Runner works with that hitch being so high up there. A lot of carriers kind of have this problem. We start seeing those seat posts and the handlebars impacting your vision. Now, is it the worst thing ever? No. We're still going to see a lot. Even with 2 bikes on here, probably not going to be that bad. The one thing to keep in mind, too, we do have an offset backup camera. When you get 2 bikes on here, though, you're going to lose a lot of that visibility. I am interested to see how it looks when we fold it up, so we'll take a look at that later. One awesome little thing about this as well, though, we can tilt this away while our bikes are still on our carrier, and it's really easy to do. We're going to bring ourselves right here in the middle. Even if I had a second bike, I can stake my hand in here, pull that latch, start tilting it down, get it out of the way, and then drop this just like you're seeing. Now, of course, you got 2 60-pound bikes on there. Be a little careful. There's going to be a lot of weight coming at you. But now I can open up my hatch. This is going to get me access here. Now I get those bike helmets, coolers, anything else I might need from the inside of my vehicle. Decent little spot, too, to go ahead and relax. Put your feet up if you need to. Do like how this system works. And then I can open up this hatch, get access to anything I might need. And all I got to do, bring down my door, lock it in, and then support my carrier and walk it up. One thing I love about this lever system, no pins or clips I got to worry about. It does the work for me, other than, of course, lifting my bikes up. But no pins or clips, love that. Nothing to lose or replace. And yeah, let's start taking this bike off. It's not going to take us too much time to do that. Press in on our lever here. That releases our ratcheting strap here in the back. You do have a little bit of matting here protecting that rim. Do you like to see that? Just a little bit softer than your natural hard rubber. So that's pretty cool to see. Just a little bit of thought going into protecting our bikes, right? And that does bring us to our last hold on our bike. So let's do a good job of holding on to it. We don't want that tilting of our vehicle or ourself to cause any damage. To activate your front arm holder here though, press in on this button. That's going to let you take it up, out to the side, and then we can simply lift our bike. And already we're ready to ride. Now your heavier bikes, might want to approach it from the side, then walk it on that platform carrier. Like if you do have a big old heavy e-bike, getting it up right here, and then walking it up can be helpful. But mounting it really is a breeze. The only thing to really be careful about, or not even really be careful, just to kind of watch, these straps like to hang in your way. Really easy way to combat that. Drop that rear wheel below it, pick it up, set it in there, and then start tightening on your wheel in no time at all. So really do love how that works. I like to condense these down too to give us a clean look. And while we're at it, let's take a look here on the very ends of our platforms. So it looks pretty good just like that. Here on each end of our platform though, we are going to have a cable lock. So you can secure each individual bike to your carrier. Therefore, they're going to be there when you leave them unattended. Love how those guys work, and they are going to be key to like not only to each other, but the hitch lock that we're going to break down here in just a second. But now let's start taking a look at our carrier while our bikes are removed. I want to take a look and see how it is working here. From the ground to the very bottom of our repair stand, that's going to be our furthest point from our vehicle. From the ground here today to the underside of our carrier, that's putting us at 26.5 inches. That is a lot of clearance, nothing I'm going to be too worried about. In fact, let's go ahead and see this bottom guy right here, just to be careful. That's about 17.5 inches, and that's probably going to be my biggest worry. Again, though, 17.5 inches, that close to our vehicle, probably nothing that we really have to account for other than if you start finding yourself approaching a very steep incline, let's take it nice and slow, because as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch-mounted accessories. But again, how we're sitting here on the 4Runner, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Shouldn't be anything that we're all going to have trouble with, so I do like to see that. And we do have a way of shortening down this length, but first, let's see how much length we're actually extending here on the back of our 4Runner. Already somewhat of a longer vehicle, I would say. From the back of the bumper here to the very end, that is going to be putting us at about 35 inches right to the end of that repair stand. So 35 inches isn't too bad. A little bit for a 2-bike platform rack. However, the Kuat NV does have a lot of features to accommodate for it. And it's really not too terrible. As long as you're staying within 40 inches, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Albeit, we do have a way of shortening this up. Instead of tilting down with this lever, I'm going to simply activate it again, bring it up, and that's going to bring it nice and close here to my 4Runner. Plenty of distance here between our hatch. Never going to have an interaction there. And these arms also have a really good resistance. You can see it takes me actually hitting the end of it to move it. Natural road shake. These things are never going to get that close to your vehicle. So I do love that. But yeah, that's going to shorten down a ton of that length. With my tape measure in hand now, from the back of our bumper to the very end, that is putting us at about 17 3/4 to, I'd say about 7/8 there. So 17 7/8, call it 18. Definitely not too much length being added, which is great. Now we shorten that down. Hopefully we can get this in the garage. Going to be a little dependent what we have at home, because again, 4Runner, a little bit of a large guy out there. But honestly, makes it a lot easier to pull in the parking spots at the trailhead. Just give yourself a little maneuverability in this position as well, too. I think the Kuat really starts showing how good it looks. You got the branding on the side, a little bit of that orange elements underneath. Really do like how it works here. Now, if you're not the biggest fan of the gunmetal gray, again, like I said, comes in that black, which can be a great option. Moving our way down here, though, we do have our 2-inch shank here today, held in just by a little retaining clip here in the back. Alignment pin, perhaps. Now this guy has our locking core on there. Those will be key to like, once again, to our platform locks. And this way our carrier is staying attached to our vehicle when we leave it unattended. However, where's our anti-rattle coming from, right? I can see it's nice and solid in here. Well, it's actually right here on the end. This little knob is tightening a cam on the inside of our shank, taking all that room out of our hitch, bring it in line to one system. As you're going to see, as I shake this, it actually shakes the entirety of the 4Runner, which is awesome. That means we're taking out all that shake and play, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, but especially our bikes. And one last little thing about that, you'll have an included tool. There is just a little insertment spot. You can really tighten that down and make sure it's locked and loaded. What I like about that, if you find yourself taking those longer road trips, not wanting to check it over 50 miles or so, you can really secure this guy. It stays nice and locked in, which is excellent, taking all that play out. So that's really, really cool. Really like how this lever system works too. You can walk right up. If you're like us and your bike doesn't have a bike stand, you can be very helpful just to hold on to it, put a foot up, drop that in position, start getting everything ready to go. And honestly, it all takes one hand if you've done it a couple times. Really not too bad to maneuver around. Again, I really do like the Kuat NV here. How it's looking with that backup camera, probably losing a lot. I was interested to see how it lined up. Unfortunately, probably going to lose a lot of that visibility as well. But that does bring us to our one last feature on the NV. I know there's a ton of them. We have this little repair stand. Flipping open this hatch right here is going to allow me to bring that guy up. Close him one more time. Open up this end here. Now I can set my bike in here, close it up, start doing any kind of repairs I need right here on the back of my vehicle. That way, if we get to the destination, we can do the quick repairs we need, or at the very least, no bike gets left behind. We can do whatever we need to, get that bike back home, start doing the real work. So, love how that repair stand works for ourselves. Really, really simple. Again, if it's something you don't quite need, the Kuat NV base is a great option. And both of those do have the ability of actually adding extensions onto this element here. So that's awesome. We don't have to just live with the two bikes. Later on, if we want to expand the family or get more people riding with us, going to be easier to get that extension, and then we can bring this out to a 4-bike platform, which can be excellent. Really, really do like the Kuat NV here. Now, if it's a little much for your blood like it is for mine, I would probably look at something like the Rocky Mounts Monorail 2-bike platform rack. Pretty much almost the same carrier you're seeing here today without all the bells and whistles and all the really clean looks. I like it because it's really simple, has a lot of good touch points, and it just gets the job done. So I highly recommend checking and giving that a look. Otherwise, though, the Kuat NV here, you really can't beat it. There's a reason we call it the premium carrier here at etrailer.com. And honestly, it just does a great job of holding on your bikes. People rant and rave about them. I'll leave that up to you guys, though, at home. Otherwise, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Kuat NV 2.0 on our 2018 Toyota 4Runner. I'm Bobby. Thanks for watching.